I think in any indigenous North American culture, the music is the preeminent art form, because you could go to any museum, like go to the Heritage Center here, anywhere, and you look at all that beautiful beadwork and all the beautiful quill work and everything, and you can be assured that it was all created to take on meaning in the context of the song, of the music. See, all that, even the star quilts, like all these beautiful star quilts. Where does it take on the most meaning? When they put that quilt on and they go out and they dance on that song. See, so that music is like the magic carpet. You can't do anything without music. You can't do any kind of activity without that music. So that's why the singers have the preeminent station in any community, any indigenous community. Yeah. See, that's what the Densmore documented, that vocal tradition, which is the foundation of everything. See, even it's the primary mnemonic device, because even like the teachings of the Potential Skawi, there's of course like Lone Man, he was able to give the ethical teachings, but see, all that he distilled that out of the music, because that's the primary means by which those ethical teachings were carried intergenerationally into the future up to today. See, so through that, so all those ceremonies, they only can be done in the context of the appropriate songs. Yeah, it all comes out. Where it starts is the white buffalo calf pipe. See, Tehinchala Chanumpa. See, so this was not her that decided to start there. No, they did. Those informants, they're the ones that identified, where to start. So they start with the foundation of the culture and civilization itself, which is, according to their reckoning, was the appearance of this holy soul, the divine being.
Range Buffalo 1. Well, I will tell you about it. That come across the door and show our count with the other hope with that. I would tell you about it. That come out to China. That over that. You're not hopeful.
I don't know what kind of person Frances Densmore was, but to me, I think she was. It had to be, for a white woman to come into an Indian reservation. She had to be one, a little crazy. Two, she had to have courage, and she had to be very demanding. So for Frances Densmore to do this, she had to have a certain swagger within her to persuade Indian agents and different ones that she was here to do a job. And the men that sang for her had to have a lot of courage and trust that they weren't going to be imprisoned or killed or anything like that for doing this, because they were told time and time again, leave your life, the only life that you ever knew, leave it and join our life. So, for Frances Densmore to hop in a wagon in Bismarck, North Dakota and go down to Standing Rock. I mean, there's people nowadays that won't even drive down there sometimes. She had to be a little crazy. For the Indian agents and the people in charge to allow this to happen, it was remarkable to me. She wasn't represented in Congress or anything like that because women didn't have the right to vote. Neither did natives, neither did African Americans, nobody. But she hopped in a wagon and went down to Standing Rock and said, I'm demanding to hear these stories. I want to meet with this person, and to do the things that she did, to go the places that she went, and to meet some of the people that she met. She had to be a little crazy. She was a crazy white woman, There's no other way to say it, Frances Densmore came to Standing Rock to record and preserve some of the history, some of the songs and stories from our people.
In that book I was reading about, I think it was Brave Buffalo, his name was. He had a song, it was a weapon song that he sang, and it didn't have no words to it. It was just a straight song, just straight melody, but he said that the song didn't need words because it was in his heart, and he really believed that. And when they would, I guess he would show what he had, and they would shoot him and it would ricochet off of him, and sometimes songs don't even need words to them.
It teaches the values, Lakota values, especially respect. We stress the respect part of it because of what is going on in life nowadays among our people on the reservations.
These are some songs that we haven't used in a long time. you know, and they're all in one place.
I never met him, but I heard a lot of stories. And then to hear that, something elk-like is coming. Something buffalo-like is coming. I'm not too emotional a lot of times, you know, but I, I get a lump right here.
If you look at the ceremonial songs itself, they go in order. They tell a story. They're in order of how the Sundance starts and how it ends.
We talk about how these new songs are being composed, they're being brought forward, but they don't have that spirit. And you can feel it sitting at the drum. But these old songs, every one of them do.
My hope for the future is that these younger singers will pick this up and use them.
So these old songs that we have that we were singing, you know, that there's a power in those, because we know these men that carried these songs, these men that used these songs, how powerful of a healer they were for our people.
Although our songs and our culture were kind of seen as black magic back in the day, because it wasn't Christian, Catholic Christian religion, is that, okay, so they outlawed it.
In those days, like I said, we were, in their generation, they were at war with the United States. And they had to hide everything, because for any little thing, any little incident, anything that was said, the men were watched very close, and they were thrown in jail.
Well, you know, my mom's brother, he was a holy man, and that's what they did to him. They threw him in Sioux Falls had another older prison, and they actually used to break rocks. But he's standing there, and there's a big rock beside him, great big rock. The story is that he knelt down and put his hands on that rock and prayed. Then he stepped back and went like that to the rock. It just fell apart. And he did that because he didn't want to hurt that rock. The rock is Ea. And Ea was the first spirit. The first of it, all that there was, ever was, is Ea. And that's where our creation comes from. So that's one of the reasons why he didn't want to hurt that.
You see, in that time, 73, 74, that was when the second Wounded Knee incident happened, the takeover. And a lot of us on Standing Rock, we weren't aware of this history that we're talking about, because they were still living in that forced oppression mindset that if they spoke about it, they would be punished, not disciplined, but punished.
It was a scary time for us too, because of previous, I don't want to say incidents, because that's putting it lightly. You know, how we were at war, basically. You know, what am I, 3 generations away from meeting the first white person?
We'll check you. So now Wochekia is what we understand as Lakota to be prayer. But Wochekia, in its original interpretation and original knowledge, Wochekia is the acknowledgement of our relationship to each other. So that goes into every part of our life as Lakota thinkers, as Lakota believers, because Wochekia, the acknowledgement of our relationship, is summed up into two words, Midakuye Owase, being we're related to everybody. What we must remember is that the Creator gave us this land. The Creator gave us this language. The Creator gave us these laws to live by. We must not venture from them. We must learn them and live them in order for our children, our grandchildren, and the generations to come will be able to not just survive, but to thrive.